Hello everyone, very good morning. Today's video which I'm making is on how to train and teach our kids to answer correctly with a yes or a no. And before I move ahead, once again I would like to mention this may not be a technically correct method, but sharing what we did and how it worked for us. Okay, so like I always say, and I've mentioned in my previous videos also, whenever we are trying to teach any new skill to the child, there are some prerequisites to it, and we need to see the current level of the child. If he has already achieved that particular level, we move ahead with something new. So now when we want to teach yes or no, what are the things, let's see, the child should already know. So first is he should be able to identify the objects, the things well. So like say suppose if I'm asking you, is this an apple? And if you have never heard or never seen that object to be an apple, or you are unaware, you can't even identify, uh, you won't be able to answer to my question correctly. You would just say anything like yes or no में से कुछ एक बोलना है, हम कुछ भी बोल दें. So identification is first. Then he should be able to answer by pointing or looking at the thing if still non-verbal, or we are still to work on the skill, this yes and no. So in some way or the other he should be able to answer for that thing. So identifying and then labeling or pointing. If possible, then commenting with a sentence. If that has also come, then all the more good. Then making a choice. The child should be, you need to teach this first, applying it in various other situations. Even when we are, I did mention it in my video when I was talking about how to make a visual schedule and other ways of scheduling the child's day. We need to put choices in between. You want more of this or finished, you want this or this, like a game, an indoor game or an outdoor game, or puzzle activity or drawing and painting. So always give choices so that the child knows that he is supposed to choose the one that he wants. So that skill of making a choice has to be in place. And so identification, making a choice. So these are the main ones. Now how do we start teaching? So first thing, it's always it gives a little support to the child if we have a visual aid for anything that we are doing. So if possible for you, you can make the cards like we make the picture cards for communication, pegs. So you can have a card in which maybe you can have all these three things together. I did the same way. You have a tick mark with a thumbs up and yes written. Thoda bada sa card I had made. So all these things means that you are in for it. Yes, okay, and a tick mark. And another card for no. So we may do this as a tabletop activity, as a game also. You take some tangible things. To begin with, we should always try to work with something which is tangible, something which is concrete, which the child can touch, feel, see, and he already knows, he can identify that particular object. So you can have those a few things with you and take the two cards, yes and no, and you can train the child. This is one way to start with. Another way is, not another way, you can do this along with using the cards also. Other member of the family with you, suppose if you are the mom, and so the mom and the dad, the two together, they try to do it, model it to the child. Whenever you know that the child is observing you, you have grabbed his attention, or he's attentive and attentive towards you and seeing what you are doing. So maybe just to see casually chalte firte, when you're walking and you just ask your husband, is this a table? And he says, yes, this is a table, and also nods with that. So a gesture, answer, table, or maybe you can put the question this way: is this a table? Yes or no? Or so you got my point. We need to model it in a way कि बच्चे को समझ में आए that this, when a question comes in such a way, this is how I have seen mama and papa answering each other. So keep modeling. They observe everything. So when you take the same thing on tabletop, they would be able to recall. And making a choice has been taught already. Now, when you try to ask a question in the real situation, so before coming to the real situation, we need to do it first with the tangible things, then with with the pictures or other things, and then with something abstract, or like, do you like this, or are you happy, emotions, and other things. So when you move to the real situations, the child already knows this, but still sometimes he fails for two or three reasons. Either he cannot interpret your question, he doesn't understand what he's supposed to answer here because he hasn't got your question only, or it is related to some object which he's not able to identify. So that identification, which we discussed in the beginning only, is a prerequisite. And then the question. So your questions that you put to the child have to be very, very simple and in the minimum words possible, which the child is able to interpret. So these are a few things we need to be careful about. Then one thing where I failed in the beginning was we started with the food items, like his favorite food item. So even when he would not want, we always got to hear yes, yes, yes. Because so we started with muskmelon, which is his favorite fruit, my child's favorite fruit. So even if you ask him at 12 o'clock midnight, do you want muskmelon? He would always say yes. So what we did was we moved to some other things. So I moved to clothes. So whenever he's sorry, getting ready, or after school you want to change clothes or something, I started giving him choices first. इन दोनों टी शर्ट्स में से एक चूज कर लो. Point one, when he was non-verbal, he would point which one he wants. Then when he got verbal, I got him, like I would put 2 or 3 t-shirts and ask him which color t-shirt you want. So he would name the color. And gradually, so, and then I started keeping only one t-shirt. Do you want to wear this one? Yes or no? And then, I started getting the correct answer. So this is how we did, and maybe you can try this too. And create a lot of situations in which the child has to respond with a yes or no. So you create situations, ask questions, get an answer, and respond, react accordingly, and take it further that way. So practice, and we are through one more skill. One important thing that we need to keep in mind here is always use the gesture along with the words. So nodding up and down for a yes, and nodding left and right for a no. When you are modeling, when you are showing, or you prompt using gestures, so the child also gets trained that ways. And you can, I forgot to mention it in the beginning, if you are using Let Me Talk app, you can also create 2 folders in that with a yes and a no. Yes के अंदर आप again you can take all the 3 images, image of a tick mark, a thumbs up, big bold letters में yes लिखा हुआ, not just the text at the bottom of any image, but yes का ही image which the child can clearly identify and make out कि yes लिखा हुआ है. sight reading से ही आ जाएगा. And similar folder for no, you can always add, you can also add a smiley picture, also a happy smiley in the yes folder and a sad smiley in the no folder. So that's all I had to share on this. If there's anything more you want to know, please drop in the comment box. I'll be more than happy to help you further on this. Thank you so much.